I understand that The Walking Dead has now aired its mid-season finale,
Correct.
but 6 weeks, obviously, in a bunker, a hatch, if you will, doing nothing but watching The Walking Dead to try and catch up to this moment. I almost got there. Almost, but no cigar. No Mary Kate cigarette for me.
Mid-season finale had some excitement, and it's interesting because I found a new podcast, by the way. It's great, and they talk about whatever show had been on that week, and let me check to make sure what it's called because I want to give these people the right plug. AfterBuzz TV, the After Show Network, and Maria Menounos is one of the producers behind it. But so I listened to them, and it was interesting because there were a couple people on that were extremely disappointed with the finale, or the mid-season finale. I mean, they did show everyone, but there was not really any wrap-up of anything, which is a little bit frustrating. And there are some characters on that show that need to freaking go, and it's not Carl, but there are some people that need to go.
Although that wouldn't be bad.
Now, wait, on a side note, because I have to say it, Carl
as Han Solo.
Read to be Han Solo in the Han Solo.
Hell to no. Let's be clear. No. I'm very excited for what is his name? Chandler Riggs, because it's clear like they were like, we're going to film a show in Georgia. We got to find a child actor that lives close by for cost containment and all that. Let's pluck him. He probably was in nothing before. So you've made a go of it, and it's working for this. But let's not make him out to be some like crazy thespian that we must push beyond this show. I'm just saying, I want to be sensitive. I get that he's 15. But really? Like, really? Really? But I do want to ask you something.
Yes, tell me.
My question for you is, I'm, only 3 episodes into season 6, but it's been a struggle for me to even get into these episodes because I think they're like lackluster in comparison to the previous seasons that I had just slammed through. I've heard that from a couple of other people. I'm curious how this season stacked up to you in comparison to the others.
It's hard because I tend to, it depends. Like with certain shows, I really focus on like the season as a whole. Other shows, I feel like I focus on episode by episode. I do think there have been a couple of episodes this season of The Walking Dead that have really bored me. And mostly it was the one with Morgan that was an hour and a half, which was like completely unnecessary. Like, why was that an hour and a half? And then the mid-season finale is only an hour when we need like a lot of things to happen. I think part of it is that they're trying to bring in some new characters because either one, they need to develop more people to live so they can kill off some of the older, or they have to have new people to kill off.
Yeah.
And I just really don't care about these new people. Like, I mean, the chick who's the mayor, like, she's all right. And her whole family, like the rest of those people, I don't give a crap about, which is maybe why this dude didn't like the mid-season finale, because we did see a lot of those people, and I just don't think any of us cares. And
I don't care. I'm curious. I don't care because I've just been watching the first 3 episodes where they're marching them around the roads trying to get the walkers. I don't know half of the people they're showing.
Yeah, I think that this is actually going to lead into the next thing I want to talk about. The other thing that was said on this podcast, AfterBuzz, that I listened to, they were talking about the leftovers, and they were saying this last episode of the leftovers felt like it was just a straight up build up to the finale. That they were kind of like through the whole episode, like, okay, so this is the episode that's setting up the next episode until the very end. Then something crazy happens, and you're like, oh God, I'm in. I can't wait for next week. I feel like that's a little bit how The Walking Dead was. Like, there was no big, like, resolving thing that happened. It was more of, like, setting up the second half of the season. And that's always disappointing, especially when you have to go, like, 3 months without an episode. Yeah. So that was a little bit, I mean, I'm glad that we saw everybody, and we got, like, an update on each person. But it did feel like it was a setup.